Coming up on Fishing Australia, I escape in my own backyard. It has so much going for it. Golden beaches, calm waters flowing out past the surf breaks to the ocean. Natural beauty against a spectacular backdrop. And on its doorstep, a cosmopolitan lifestyle providing the perfect escape for travellers and locals alike. About an hour's drive up the road from Brisbane, Caloundra is the Sunshine Coast's southern gem. And you don't have to go far at all to join the locals for some easy fishing. It's all just a few steps from the buzz of Caloundra's CBD. Just 5 minutes from my home in Pelican Waters and seconds from any number of resorts is this magnificent fishing platform right on the boardwalk here at Caloundra on the Esplanade. Now, there's a huge number of fish that live in this system behind me here and out in the Pacific Ocean over there, which is part of the reason I moved here. But today, we're chasing a specialist fish, the blackfish, also known as a lugdrick. Now, they're omnivores. They do eat a lot of different things, but they love weed. And the locals have sourced some of the best weed for me there. That's cabbage weed. I can't wait to drop this in and get stuck into the action. Got that weight set at a pre-measured depth so that the sinker sits about 1 metre or so above the bottom, and that weed just wafts around. And the tide's slack now, but as it picks up, you'll see all the anglers here just moving along and walking along with the tide. It's probably the best place I've ever fished for blackfish. It's just so user-friendly. And we're waiting for what's known as a down. So when that float gets pulled under, you've got to be ready to strike. Overlooking the Pumicestone Passage, Caloundra has an enviable seaside lifestyle. And its iconic boardwalk is one of the best I've seen anywhere. That's what we call a sleepo. Just didn't pull the float down, just changed direction gently, and we'll soon find out what it is. Hopefully a blackfish. So I've got very light hooks on there. I've gone down to just a little size 8 gamakatsu, which is a beautiful little hook, 8 pound leader. So I'm just going to take my time with him and wear him out, and we'll be in the net. Rightio, Rob, we might just try to gently get him up there. That's the thing when you're always rolling around. Geez, they're good fighters. They're great fighters. I could do this all day long. It's just good fun. And I don't know that there's a more user-friendly spot for it than here in Caloundra. I think you guys would agree. You're normally on a break wall or a rock wall or something. He's just about done there, mate.
With the oysters and everything?
Yeah. All right, we got him. There he is. Thanks, Bob. I'll let you have that net back. There you go. A beautiful blackfish, and that's actually a tiny bit smaller than average there. Nearly always a really good size here. You can see that mouth there that's built for grazing on weed. Primarily, just no sharp teeth, just that little mouth there that nibbles on stuff. And great fight, strong fish, and fantastic eating. You can fish here any time of year, and whether you're an amateur or an experienced angler, getting a bite is pretty much a given. You can learn all about the various options for fishing and fun here in Caloundra by checking out visitsunshinecoast.com/Caloundra. The southern end of the Sunshine Coast is simply one of my favourite places to be. And not just because it's part of my backyard. The beaches and resorts of Caloundra are some of the star attractions of an enviable and relaxed lifestyle. And then there's the wide variety of angling and aquatic adventures on offer. Boat and board hire is hugely popular here, and operations like Bill's allow you to experience the waterways with confidence. Today, I'm catching up with a friend of mine from Tonic Eyewear, Wade Kwalichevsky, to scope out Bribie Island and the Pumicestone Passage. Look at this, Wade.
Oh, what a cracking day.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? And look, the idea here is to stop at a vantage point and have a good look before you race down and start fishing, because you've got to pick out the little things that are going to make the difference on the day, and you do need proper fishing eyewear. The Tonic's Australian made and they're great for our conditions here. And we can see some good features already, right, Wade?
Yeah, down here it'll be good with a bit more water in it later on, but while we've got that tide running in, there's a beauty up there. You can see it with ease, so we should head up there and give it a go, I reckon.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
With Pumicestone Passage on the inside, Bribie Island starts here at Caloundra and runs for over 30 kilometres down to Moreton Bay. Got him. First cast. There you go. Just a little dart. Plentiful here along the beaches on the sunny coast, and stone's throw from Caloundra there. He's only a little guy. And be one of many species I think we're going to see here today. Popping back. This is one of the little subtle things that I've been looking for, just a shallow sandbank dropping into the water. It's only a gradual drop, but a bit of sand washing in, so looks like a very likely spot for a couple of whiting. Normally only takes a couple of casts. Just let it hit the bottom, and I like to wind it slow. There we go. There's a bite. Got him. There you go. Got him, Wadey. The soft baits like pippies or worms, nippers, it's good to keep it moving. What do we got here? Oh, there you go. That's about what you'd expect to get. Beautiful, well, they call this a summer whiting, but he's a legal size. Always check your rules before you come out fishing. You tend to get the bigger ones in the estuary itself, in the Pumicestone Passage there, but you know, if you rustle up half a dozen of them, you got dinner. They're a beautiful table fish, and you will get them a fair bit bigger, just not the monsters here. You're lucky to get a monster. Beautiful neck of the woods, isn't it, Wade?
It is. Fantastic place.
We've been working up and down the beach. This is about as far south as we're going to get. Well, just a sneaky little gutter in here that we're going to try. Maybe as the tide drops, they might come on the chew a bit more. But I'll tell you what, you know, whatever we catch, still pretty good fun out here, isn't it?
It is, definitely.
It is paradise. I mean, this is like a
best
remote
part of the world.
Yeah, we're the only ones on the beach pretty much. So, yeah, all right.
Let's go and have a go.
A couple of sneaky more casts. These waters are home to a large variety of fish species, and the wider wetland habitats support significant bird life, prompting its Ramsar classification of international importance. For more information about all the things you can do in and around Caloundra, check out visitsunshinecoast.com/Caloundra. There you go, it's a slightly better dart. Yeah, you can come down here after a big sea like most surf beaches, and you get tailor, flathead whiting, brim. It all picks up after a rough session on the beach here. Big waves carve out nice new gutters and stir up the food, but it's nice to be here in calm conditions as well. Good fun. Nice little session there. Sometimes you come over here and you get a few nice big flathead or some bigger whiting, brim, tailor. A lot of good stuff here, but it's a good excuse to show you my backyard on the beach here at Bribie.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Let's go and see what's around the corner.
Why not? Let's go.
I'm on the Sunshine Coast, at the southern end, where the beaches and waterways of Caloundra are beckoning. There's a wide variety of accommodation on offer, from camping right up to this place, Rumba Resort. This luxury retreat offers some of the best waterfront accommodation on the coast. Located amongst the finest restaurants and retailers in the CBD. With stunning views and featuring a wide range of studio and self-contained apartments, it's perfect for singles, couples, or families. For more information, just go to rumbaresort.com.au. Fishing is about opportunities, and an aspect of our sport that has opened up a whole new world of fun is the PWC. PWC fishing is growing fast for many good reasons. For a start, it's hassle-free and fun, and you can get to those shallow spots that boats can't get to. For example, shallow estuaries like the Pumicestone Passage here, or when you're crossing the many shallow bars that surround Australia. Now, Sea-Doo has responded to this with the purpose-built Fish Pro. Just a year ago, there was only a couple of us using them. Now, there's a growing community enjoying the lifestyle on offer. The best thing about this growing trend is it's more sociable, it's safer, and there's also more chance of finding the fish you're after. Now, it's not uncommon for my friends and I to duck out before or after work and catch a few fish. For example, just recently, I headed out into the Pacific Ocean and caught a few beautiful big tuna. More on that later. But first, I'm going to show a friend of mine, Robbie Dunn, around the channels of the Pumicestone Passage here and show him a few fishing tips along the way. We meandered around the passage, just enjoying the ride and using it as a recce for future sessions. It's also important to note some basics about operating PWCs. Make sure you read through your PWC licence booklet if you haven't been out for a while. It may seem obvious, but always check the weather before you head out. Go slow in new areas and be aware that sandbars do move. And always use a life jacket type specified by the Maritime Authority in your state. I mentioned earlier that I recently headed out beyond the breakers for an exciting encounter. So for now, we'll leave that recce with Rob Dunn and check out my tangle with a demon from the deep. A good strategy with tuna fishing in this neck of the woods is not to race up to the school too hard and put the school down. Get up direction of where they're travelling, which is usually into the wind, but the birds will give that away. Cut the motor and let the fish come to you. So there's a good school there now, which I've been waiting for. The birds are giving the game away. I know they're moving towards me. Big cast over the top. And then bring the lure through the school. Bump. Nearly. Got him. There you go. It used to be not that long ago that you'd have to set up the skis yourself, but these days they come ready to go. This is the Sea-Doo Fish Pro I'm in. Comes on the ST3 hull, which is the most stable jet ski hull on the market. A joy to fish out of. A number of other features. Has the forward storage hatch so you can get to stuff. The esky on the back. Built-in fish finder that works really well on the factory settings, and a stack of other stuff. Certainly, it's a nice fish. Certainly the Sea-Doo Fish Pro is the PWC fishing machine to date by a country mile. Okay, I'm gonna have a crack at the tail. You can use a net if you're new to it, or a gaff. I like to grab them on the tail. It's a little bit harder, but it's good fun. Oh, I tell you what, she's giving me a workout. Move down the back here. Come this way. Come on. Come on, here we go. Around, around, around we go. This time. Got it. Yes, got her. And here we have, look at that. About 7 kilo of prime long-tailed tuna or northern bluefin. Look, I know I chase them a lot, but how could you not? They're plentiful, especially in autumn. Great fun to chase. You learn something new every time. It's really an art to it. It's half the fun. Fight like crazy and great on the plate, raw or cooked. It's nice to be heading in knowing I can safely cross the bar on low tide. If you'd like to learn more about the game-changing Fish Pro, check out au.c-do.com. It's such a thrill. The kids, and even us adults, can have a blast having the ride of your life. Our waterways are our aquatic playgrounds, and with some simple common sense, such as wearing a life jacket, they can be enjoyed by everyone. With me today is Senior Boating Safety Officer Shane Davey, who's going to help me with some simple do's and don'ts about towing on the water. One of the first steps, of course, is life jackets, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just the skipper.
Yeah, that's right. Look, anyone being towed has to have an appropriate life jacket. By appropriate, we mean a life jacket that is fit for purpose. It's well fitted.
Yeah.
It's the right size for that particular person who's wearing it.
Yeah.
And it also meets the Australian standard. So it's really important that they have the right jacket on. A lot of the apparatus might be more than 3 persons, but in New South Wales you can only tow a maximum of 3 people at any one time.
And before you go towing, like these people out here are having a great time, you not only want to be familiar with the equipment, but you check it over as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. You want to check it for any faults. You want to make sure that your ropes and your handles are all in good condition. There's no frayed bits on there. You want to check your tow points on your vessel, that there's no cracks or worn spots, and they're really good strong points to attach the line to. Often we see people attaching tow ropes to the wrong part of the vessel or the personal watercraft, which can cause some dangers there if the point breaks away.
Yeah.
So most vessels will have a designated tow point, and it's just important to know where you're attaching that tow line to.
It's obviously a lot of fun, but the temptation, especially in conditions like this, is always to go that bit quicker.
Yeah.
But speed is something you want to be mindful of, right?
Yeah, look, it certainly is good fun, and we do find that when people are out there towing, they do get quite excited, and the temptation certainly is to go a little bit faster. It's really important that everybody involved is aware of the capabilities of the people being towed, and they're really aware of their surroundings, such as other waterway traffic, blind corners, possible hazards in the water, to keep a proper lookout for that. So the skipper's obviously keeping a proper lookout, but the observer has a very real responsibility in making sure that the person being towed is safe and notifying the skipper of any hazards.
That's a huge role, really. I mean, it's not just sitting in your kid on the back and saying, hey, just have a peek, make sure everything's all right.
Yep.
Because, give us an example, for example, what can happen to the person being towed?
Look, waterway traffic can be approaching from behind. So the observer's not only just looking out for the towed person falling off the apparatus, they're looking out for any potential hazards, and it's important that they make the skipper aware of that as early as possible. It's also important that the length of the tow line is at least 7 metres from the centre line of the vessel.
Alcohol limit, Shane.
Yep.
You've got to stick to some rules there, right?
Yeah, definitely. The skipper, the observer, and any person being towed all have to remain under 0.05. Everybody involved.
Okay.
We get towing activities in all sorts of different waterways, in lakes, in dams, in alpine waters. And look, skiing's a sport, so people are out there in cold waters, and we need to take that into consideration. Things like hypothermia, if you fall in the water and the like, and obviously just in the general environment, hidden snags, fast currents, shallow banks, they all play a really important part in knowing your waterways so that you can conduct that activity safely.
You're out there having some fun. It's really tempting to get on the gas more, isn't it?
Yeah, most certainly. It is a lot of fun. We find that when people are being towed, excitement levels can lift and people do go faster. They don't pay as much attention to what's going on. Each year across New South Wales waterways, we have a number of incidents. Some of those are related to when a vessel's going around a corner. The skier or the towed apparatus can go into a whip effect, and it accelerates outside the line of the vessel, which can put it into the path of oncoming traffic, or into the shoreline and the like. So it's important that when the skipper is taking a turn, that they do it at a safe speed, and they don't whip their towed person out too wide and too fast.
Yeah, and because it's something that's a little bit out of your control too, if you're not careful, that whip can really swing that out 20, 30 metres wide, and someone gets rolled on the beach or hits a rock, and it can be pretty catastrophic.
Yeah, definitely. And look, there's a lot of, there's ropes that are around out the back of the boat. If someone falls, the vessel's moving around the person in the water, so, you've got to be really cautious of prop strikes and the like. These activities are a lot of fun, and they can certainly be done safely, but it is important that we apply a lot of common sense to ensure that no incidents occur.